Okay, so we have to talk about terrain. We have to talk about this. I'm here with Big Ben from 4Ground.
Good to see you again. Yeah, it's really, really great. So this is our Fabled Realms city. This is the first city in Fabled Realms that we're developing. It's the port city of Mordenberg. We came out with our first feature building at Christmas, which was the Stoic Arms. That's gone really, really well. And as promised, there would be a good summer feature building. And we have the Wardens Watchtower, the master of the watch. He administers the local area, and he does this all from his watchtower, where he also keeps his wardens, who make sure that everybody is very lawful. Now, if you're not lawful and you'd like to come around here, I can show you the first part of the punishment.
Yeah, let's do it.
We have what's known as
this way. Come around here. Do you see this?
Believe it or not, a suspended latrine above the road was actually something that was in the Middle Ages, and they used to have guys that were called night closetmen or night earthmen to remove the waste. Well, this is the first form of punishment in Fabled Realms. You have the humbling rings below the night closet. Now I'm going to do my I'm going to do my very best to take this apart without knocking miniatures everywhere. Yeah. So on the ground floor we have the jail cells.
Ooh, look in there.
And in the corner of the jail cells, you can just see the door to the oubliette, where we put people who are such terrible miscreants they need to be forgotten about. And then after that, we then go to the next level, because as with all the 4Ground products, we have internal and external detail. So now we have the duty ready room, and that's also, if you can just see, that's where you'll take a walk to what's known as the poop deck to be able to deposit some sort of...
deposit.
Yeah, deposit's probably best thing. Your opinion of life in Mordenberg. Then we have the next level here, and this is the actual entry point into the tower itself, and you can see where the men can get to the first part of the battlements to be able to protect the tower, because you've got to remember this is an area which is this river. If you imagine, as we perceive Mordenberg, and Mordenberg is not a rule system. Mordenberg is just where we play our fantasies. And as Warren, you know, we use whatever rules. We use Warhammer for mass battles. We'll use Pathfinder for different games. We use rules to suit our game and our environment. So you come up here, you've got yet more rooms. Each one of these rooms, if they don't have a staircase, they'll have a ladder that goes up to it. Yet more rooms coming up the way to the top. Now the other thing to remember that's quite important is, even when you get to this sort of thing, is that you might want this tower for a D&D game, but you might want this tower on like a Warhammer environment. So really then you want a roof that comes off like that. You can easily get your men on the roof. Another thing that we found with a lot of our miniatures is that a lot of our buildings is that, yes, wargamers love them, but also a lot of model collectors that spend a lot of time converting and painting their miniatures, they're now using our actual buildings as backdrops to their collections. Think of it as a multi-layered shelf. You've got the damage district over here, you've got other houses. Every building on this table has had some of our tiles added to it. Now the reason that we didn't put tiles in with all the packs is it's quite a hefty blow. I mean, if you're just talking about UK prices, retail price for the tiles on this roof would have cost you about 30 quid. Yeah. Guys can tile it, the people can tile it whenever they want, but they don't have to use our tiles. You know, you and I both remember when we used to get cornflake packets and paint them and then cut them and get blisters on our fingers. We don't mind. We're not precious about what people do with our kits. We love it when they convert them. There's a house here, and we're just showing people, before we made it, we painted the wall panels orange. Yeah. So the 4Ground base paints are just that. They're a base paint, they're a primer.
So they act as a good primer then, you can put your own color over?
We've been asked by a lot of people to bring them out because they work brilliantly with resins, they work brilliantly with metals. They're not a finished paint, they're a good flat paint. You can paint on it with acrylic, you can paint on it with enamels. That's the idea of that sort of paint. We may do something with it, we may not, but you can do almost anything. Weathering powders. We've got some Mordenberg buildings up the front on our making table where we've actually made them into look like very damaged German 30-year war buildings. So just because we put it in that category, if you can see where you want to put it, take a 4Ground building, kit bash with 4Ground, kit bash with Sarissa and 4Ground. You know, we're good working buddies, and we've seen some marvelous kits where people have taken this from Sarissa, that from 4Ground, or from war bases, and made some great stuff. The MDF has its limitations, but what it's good at, it's really good at.
Absolutely. Ben, look, thank you so much for that. Okay, guys, it's the worst kept secret in the world. Warhammer Fantasy is going skirmish. You would be nuts if you were not checking out this terrain. Oh, I'm in love.